Aaron Goldstein here, and this video is super fucking powerful. In this video, I'm going to show you how the rich use the law of attraction, use the secret to make lots of money, to make boatloads of cash. Now, if you're not familiar with the secret or the law of attraction, it basically goes something like this. You want to believe that you can get whatever it is you want in life. I'm all about teaching people how to get rich. So to use the law of attraction for that, you basically want to believe that you can get rich. You basically want to believe that you can get unbelievably wealthy. And if you believe it and you expect it, then it will happen. If you don't expect it, you'll struggle. This is how it works. I'm going to break down the secret to you right here, right? So here's the underlying principle below the secret. So we have two minds, right? We have our conscious mind and then we have our subconscious mind. Has there ever been something in life that you wanted to, that you knew you should do, but you couldn't get yourself to do it? Maybe there was something you knew you should do. You knew what the right thing to do was, you couldn't get yourself to do it. Maybe you knew you shouldn't eat junk food. You knew eating junk food was bad, but you ate it anyway. Maybe you knew drinking alcohol was bad for you, but you couldn't stop yourself. That's because your conscious mind knew that smoking, drinking, whatever it was bad for you. Your subconscious mind linked pleasure to that negative activity, and your subconscious mind is 10 million times stronger than your conscious mind. Because of that, your subconscious mind will overpower your conscious mind and win every single time. I don't have time in this video to get into the statistics of that. I have YouTube videos out there that actually go into that in more detail if you want to check that out. But what the law of attraction does is it starts to program your subconscious mind so your subconscious mind and your conscious mind are aligned. An example of this is lots of people like junk food. But every now and then you'll run into someone that doesn't like junk food. I got a guy that actually he paid me to get into one. He gave me money to give him coaching, basically. He had a job and he wanted me to teach him how to get rich. I don't like to do coaching. I do it. I'm picky about who I work with because most people bitch about their life, and I'll tell them to do like 3 really simple things that will make them like 10 times more money, and they won't go do it. And it pisses me off, so I don't really like coaching. He paid me to give him some coaching. In 9 months, guys, this guy was making more money from my advice. Now, he went out there and implemented it, so it was all him. In 9 months, he was making more money doing the stuff that I told him than him and his wife were making at both of their jobs combined. Within that 9 months, they quit their job and they travel all over the world. I see them on Facebook. They're over here in Las Vegas. They're over here in California. They're traveling. It's great. I'm happy for them. And when they're traveling, they're staying at expensive hotels. That just shows you that once you get the right information from someone that's actually willing to share the secrets of the rich with you, you can get rich in a very short period of time. Anyway, this guy, a bodybuilder guy, right? So this guy sells like bodybuilding tips and stuff. He doesn't like junk food. He likes eating healthy food. If all else were the same, even if junk food was like good for you, he would rather eat healthy food. Because his subconscious mind is programmed, is wired to believe that eating healthy food is good for him. So because of that, he doesn't have to try to eat healthy. He doesn't have to force himself not to eat junk food. He naturally eats healthy. That's kind of how the law of attraction and the secret work. That's not actually how, that's exactly how it works. Once your subconscious mind is programmed to be on the same level as your conscious mind, there's no internal conflicts, and you can get what it is that you want in life naturally, easily, and effortlessly because everything's aligned with it. With your subconscious mind is aligned with your conscious mind. Let me go ahead and show you in this video how to speed up this process by over 100 times to as far as getting rich, all right? So, as far as you might have heard of something called affirmations. Affirmations is what you is so let's say that I'm broke and I say I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. There's nothing wrong with affirmations. I actually have them I actually wrote them on my wall. I'll read some of them to you. Unexpected money simply falls into my lap. Large lump sums of money flow into my life easily and effortlessly. I attract money-making opportunities into my life. I attract lucrative, enjoyable, and beneficial circumstances into my life. It's easy to make money. When I open my mailbox, there is always a check for me. Well, I want to put some on the ceiling. I haven't gotten around to doing that yet. So, if you're into The Secret or the Law of Attraction, you might have heard of affirmations, right? You say these things out loud enough, and they will seep into your subconscious mind, and eventually your subconscious mind will be aligned with your conscious mind. I'm going to show you how to do this 100 times faster with an activity that's fun. So this is what I want you to do. I'm going to show you the activity and tell you how to do it, and then I will explain how this works and how it works for reprogramming your subconscious mind, and it speeds up exponentially fast the law of attraction and The Secret. You know, kind of the same thing, right? So what I want you to do, guys, and it's very important you do this and you don't just watch this video. I want you to get out a piece of paper. It must be a full blank piece of paper. If you don't have Notepad, get a piece of paper from the computer. If you don't have any computer paper, maybe you got to go to the neighbors and ask them for a piece of paper. It's important that you do this. I don't want you to write down notes on your phone. I don't want you to open up a Word document. It's important that you take a pen and you write on a blank piece of paper, a full page of paper. So if you need to pause this video and go get that, go do that now. It's important you do this, guys. Getting rich is not about how hard you work. If that was the case, construction workers would be rich and billionaires that run companies and play golf on their yacht would be poor. That's not how it works. The rich get rich because they do these certain activities. Pause this video. Go get this piece of paper. I'm going to assume that you have this paper now. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to number it 1 through 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do it with you. I've done this multiple times. I'm going to do it with you too. What I want you to do is follow me and imagine for a second that you have all the money in the world. You are unbelievably rich. You have all the money to buy anything that it is that you want to buy, live the life that you want to live. I want you to think about what's the number one thing that you want to buy once you're rich. And I want you to write that down right next to number 1. Think about the second thing you want to buy. Write that down as number 2, then number 3, number 4, and number 5. I'd like to give you some ideas. It could be a car that you want to drive. It could be a certain home you want to live in. Maybe a neighborhood you want to live in. Maybe a condo that you want to live in. It could be something like a watch that you want to buy. Maybe when you were younger, you and your parents would walk in the mall and your dad would say, "You see that store over there? That's the store all the rich people shop at. We never go into that store." Maybe you've always wanted to buy clothes from that store. Write that down. Maybe it's a pair of shoes. Write that down. Maybe it's golf equipment. Go ahead and write that down. Maybe it's a bed. Maybe you want to have, maybe you say, well, shit, if I was rich, I would have a movie theater in my house. Well, write that down. This is what we're going to do. You are going to start experiencing these activities as you're rich. You might think this is kind of stupid, but I'll tell you a story. There's this guy out there called Orrin Woodward. All right? He started doing this when he was making like 40 grand a year. He would walk in, he would go, and he would get tours of homes that were extremely expensive and very big. 10,000 plus homes. 10,000 square foot plus homes. And he would walk. One of the things he liked is he wanted to have a bridge. He thought that having a bridge in a home was cool. So he'd go get a tour of this home, and he'd take his wife with him, and together they'd walk across this bridge in the home. Well, that's kind of fancy. No one needs that. Well, of course no one needs that, but the whole reason you get rich is so you can buy the shit you don't need and you can live a high-quality life. right? Come on now. He would, so he'd go, and he wouldn't go walk through one home. He'd go walk through one home. Then he'd go walk through another home. Then he'd go walk through a third home. I went and I saw this guy live in one of his seminars. This was a few years ago. He paid cash for a 17,500 square foot house that has a bridge in it. This stuff works because it reprograms your subconscious mind on an internal level. And I'll explain why, and then I'll show you how to do this. If you say to yourself, think about the car. I'm going to call the car. Think about maybe you have a dream car. I own a car, I own a car, I own a car. Well, if you say you own a car, that's one thing. If you go out there and you test drive the car, you experience what it's like to sit in the car. You get the emotional rush of driving down the car and people looking at you. You future project yourself in the car. Maybe you feel the steering wheel. You hear the sound of the music playing. You smell the leather of whatever the car has. You will have linked emotions to that experience. And the emotions and the experience are over 100 times stronger than just saying an affirmation out loud. Excuse me, guys. So not only is the activity in and of itself fun, it programs your subconscious mind on a lot faster than doing pretty much anything else. There's one other thing that will program your subconscious mind faster that I talk about in the 51 Pillars of Wealth. This programs your subconscious mind, though, very fast. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to write down the stuff you want to buy, and I want you to go experience it. Here's the key. You want to do it 2 to 4 times a month. So at least 2 times a month, go do whatever it is you want to do. If it's you want to try on a watch at a mall, go try on that watch. If you want to test drive a certain car, go test drive the car. I will give you some experiences that I did. So, one of the things that I wanted to own was a California King memory foam bed. But I just didn't want any one. I wanted the most expensive one. So what I would do is I'd go to the mattress store and I would ask them where the bed was. I don't know the name of the bed. I just knew what it looked like and I knew it was the most expensive. So some memory foam beds have like this much memory foam. This bed that I wanted has this much, the whole bed's memory foam basically. When you go lay in it, your butt touches the floor because it's all memory foam and you sink into the bed. Alright, it's not that intense. I over-exaggerate a little bit. So what I would do is I would go and I'd go lay in the bed. Wow, this is nice. Ooh, look at that. I'm going to love laying in this bed. This is pretty cool. And then that's it. I would leave. I did that probably 10 to 15 times total. I didn't do it, but I'd do it once, and then a couple weeks later I'd go test drive a car I'd wanted, and a couple weeks later I would go, like one of the things I wanted is I wanted the like you can get massage chairs that are like $10,000 that feel like a person's massaging you. Like you put your arms in them and your feet in them, and it feels just like a massage, right? So like I might go lay in the bed, and laying in the bed only took, I go lay in it for 3 minutes and then I'm done. Maybe 5 minutes. But then maybe I go sit in a massage chair 2 weeks later, and that would take a half an hour. Oh my God, I love this. Oh, and then a couple weeks later I go do something else. Next week I go test drive the car. And then maybe another month later, then I'd go lay in the bed again, right? You can do these activities over and over again, all right? Guess what's in my bedroom right now? That California King memory foam bed. And I love it. It's amazing. It's great, all right? So what you want to do is you want to take time out to go experience what it's going to be like once you own these. It's not experience. I didn't exactly word that correctly. You want to go do these activities, right? So one of the things is there's this really fancy apartment complex. It's the most expensive one in the city that I live in. And so what I did about 4 or 5 years ago is I went and I got a tour of it, right? And they showed me all this stuff. Oh, this is the salon inside. It's got a restaurant right in an app. So if you maybe you're coming back from the mall and you're going to be home in a half an hour and you'd like something from the restaurant to be delivered to your door in 45 minutes, On the app, you could say, all right, I want a steak, I want a medium well, I want the side to be this, the other side to be this. I want it in my room in 45 minutes. And then the restaurant, like room service at a hotel, will deliver the food to you in your apartment. All the amenities. I got a what's it called, walkthrough. I don't know I don't know exactly what it's called, but I went there and I got a tour of the place, right? When I always wanted a Camaro for the longest time. So what I would do is I test drove a bunch of Camaros. I actually went to every Chevy dealership in like a 50-mile radius of me, and I probably test drove 20 Camaros before I bought one. I bought my first Camaro, like, it was a Hot Wheels edition, really sexy. Like, it was right at the point when my income, it was about 4 years ago when I started making about $5,000 a week. That's when my income really started all this stuff really started to hit. But the thing is, guys, do these activities and do them more than once. So some other things I would do is I'd go to like Best Buy, right? And one of the things I always wanted was a big, mega flat screen TV. I wanted the biggest one. Give me the 90-inch one that's, I don't know the exact price, but that's, $15,000. And I would look at it and I'd be like, well, this is cool. And then what I would do is I'd look at the surround sound systems and I would think, all right, I'll put one of these in the bedroom. I'll put one of these in the family room, right? Or maybe once I don't have a house now, but once I eventually get a house, I'll have an entertainment room and it'll come with it, or I'll put one of those in there. It's good to have these experiences because they start to program your mind on a subconscious level. So hopefully you guys got some value from this video. Now, I'd like to extend an invite, if you haven't already, to check out my free presentation that reveals a 3-step formula you can use to get rich now. At the end of the presentation, I'm going to talk about my university, the 51 Pillars of Wealth, where basically, if you take everything I've learned about getting rich fast, all the wealth hacks that I learned, from starting businesses on my own, from having mentors, from trial and error, from reading books, from listening to books on audio, from going to seminars. If you take everything that I've learned, you strip away all the bullshit, you're basically left with 51 raw, essential, timeless pillars, tips, strategies, and wealth hacks that once you know them, you will be able to get unbelievably rich fast in anything and everything you do. So at the end of the video, at the end of the presentation, I talk about the 51 Pillars of Wealth and how you can try it out and how you can get access to it if that's something you want to check out. And if that is something you want to check out and you want to check out my 3-step wealth creation formula, which is all in the same presentation, you can check that out by clicking the link below this video. Well, that's what I got for you guys. My name is Aaron Goldstein, and I would like you to, those 5 things you wrote down, the number 1 thing, do it in the next 7 days. If it's a car you want to drive, if it's a place you want to live in, if it's clothes you want to try on, go to the mall, try on all the clothes, whatever it is, whatever number 1 is that you wrote down, go experience that in the next 7 days. It'll kind of get you in the habit of it, and it'll start to program your subconscious mind. That's what I got for you guys, and of course, if you want to check out my 3-step system that you can use to get rich now, along with learning more about the 51 Pillars of Wealth and how you get access to it, you can check that out by clicking the link below this video as well. Aaron Goldstein here, and I will see you on the next video that I see you on.